Staying up late tonight. I'm in a foreign city.
Realize that the true happiness lies within you. Waste no time and effort searching for peace and contentment and joy in the world outside. Remember that there's no happiness in having or in getting, but only in giving. Reach out, share, smile, hug. Happiness is a perfume you cannot pour on others without getting a few drops on yourself. True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. True happiness consists not in the multitude of friends, but in the worth and choice. The only way to find true happiness is to risk being completely cut open. It's enough to indulge and to be selfish, but true happiness is really when you start giving back. We should practice by showing one another love and helping one another. It is a mistake to pursue happiness and to seek to avoid suffering by deceiving and humiliating other people. We must try to achieve happiness and eliminate suffering by being good-hearted and well-behaved. Happiness is excitement that has found a settling down place, but there's always a little corner that keeps plopping around. Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you are doing, you will be successful. When you're happy for no reason, you bring happiness for your outer experience rather than trying to extract happiness from them. You don't need to manipulate the world around you to try make yourself happy. You live from happiness rather for happiness. Happiness is a form of courage. When we understand clearly that the inner peace is the real source of happiness and how taught spiritual practice, we can experience progressively deeper levels of inner peace. We will develop tremendous enthusiasm to practice. It's not how much we have, but how much we enjoy that makes happiness. The less you want, the richer you are. The more you need in order to be happy, the more miserable you'll be. We tend to forget that happiness doesn't come as a result of getting something we don't have, but rather of recognizing and appreciating what we do have. Rules for happiness: something to do, someone to love, something to hope for. Happiness is a choice that requires effort at times. Success is how you collect your minutes. You spend millions of minutes to reach one triumph, one moment, and then you spend maybe 1,000 minutes enjoying it. If you were unhappy through those millions of minutes, what good is the 1,000 minutes of triumph? It doesn't equate. Life is made of small pleasure. Good eye contact, over the table with all your loved ones, a moment of touching of friends. Happiness is made of those tiny successes. The big ones comes too infrequently. If you don't have all those zillion of tiny successes, the big one doesn't mean anything. The basic thing that is everyone wants happiness. No one wants suffering, and happiness mainly comes from our own attitude rather from our external factors. If your own mental attitude is correct, even if you remain in a hostile atmosphere, you feel happy. If what you call happiness are the pleasurable feelings that you experience when things are going very well in your life, then you truly don't know what true happiness is. The road to happiness lies in two simple principles. Find what it is that interests you and that you can do well, and when you find it, put your whole soul into it, every bit of energy and ambition and natural ability you have. Be happy with what you have and what you are. Be generous with both, and you won't have to hunt for happiness. Trust yourself, create the kind of self that you will be happy to live with all your life. Be the most of yourself by finding the tiny inner spark of possibility into flames of achievement. Since you alone are responsible for your own thoughts, only you can change them. You will want to change them when you realize that each thought creates according to its own nature. Remember that the law works at all times and that you are always demonstrating according the kinds of thoughts you habitually entertain. Therefore, it starts now to think only those thoughts that will bring your health and happiness. Sometimes we must undergo hardship, breakups, and narcissistic wounds, which shatter the flattering image that we had of ourselves in order to discover the truths that we are not who we thought we were, and that the loss of cherished pleasure is not necessarily the loss of true happiness and well-being. Peace is something like happiness. You cannot say, "I will be happy when," and you can't say, "I will be peaceful when." Your happiness shouldn't depend on the situation you're in nor or the circumstances that surround you. In the same breath, you cannot wait for everything around you to become peaceful in order for you to say, "I am peaceful." In both happiness and peace, there is heart of strength, determination, and steadfastness, a heart that has the power to make things happen. You have to be at peace. You have to be happy now. When you discover true happiness, you will find that you are wealthier beyond the dream of kings. Only those who seek within get to discover their true unconditional happiness. Happiness is surrounding yourself only with those who bestow their unconditional love and support. Every moment that's ever been or ever will be is gone the instant it's begun. So life is a loss, and the secret of happiness is to learn to love the moment more than you mourn the loss. True happiness cannot be achieved through wealth, fame, or action, but through love, modesty, and self-satisfaction. If you are looking for true happiness, you have to change your level of consciousness and deepness of awareness. Learn to be your own best friend. First, then you will find true happiness, because happiness is from within. Happiness, it is the most important influence and drive in our lives. Yet we have a hard time finding it, or maybe we just don't understand what happiness truly is. We always create efforts in hopes that somehow we stumble will find happiness, yet we are never truly aware when we really have it. Truthfully, difficult question bear with very simple answer. Happiness starts within us. It is always has been. Happiness cannot find a home in our heart that does not understand hope and acceptance. Such a heart cannot recognize happiness when it comes waving. So start by changing your heart and thoughts and happiness will find its way to you. The secret of happiness is to admire without desiring. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things we are beyond the power of our will. True happiness arises in the first place from the enjoyment of oneself, and in the next from the friendship and conversation of a few select companions. Happiness. True happiness is an inner quality. It is a state of mind. If your mind is at peace, you are happy. If your mind is at peace, but you have nothing else, you can be happy. If you have everything in this world, can give pleasure, possessions, power, but lack peace of mind, you can never be happy. True happiness for human being is possible only to those who develop their God's-like potentialities to the utmost. Many persons have a wrong idea of what constitutes true happiness is. It is not attained through self-gratification, but through fidelity to a worthy purpose.
Staying up late tonight. I'm in a foreign city.